Hello all and welcome to tonight's beer review. Kind of a special one because I haven't had a chance to go and really try a special beer in a while. So, what we have today, I'm glad to say, is Sierra Nevada's 2015 Estate Homegrown IPA. Let's read the label, shall we? Tastes fresh from the field flavors with this handmade, homegrown, and completely natural ale. Made with organic wet hops and barley grown at our brewery in Chico, this remarkable ale is only one of its kind. Here in the sun-drenched fields of California's North Valley, the black soil is rich with promise. In winter, rows of barley seed are laid in the fresh-tilled dirt. In spring, trellises are set for hops. From our fields comes a remarkable homegrown ale made with organic wet hops and barley grown at our estate here in Chico, and one of the few estate-made ales produced anywhere in the world. This estate ale is rich with the flavors of the valley, featuring hops with earthy grapefruit-like flavors and layered spicy aromas, and barley with mild sweetness and smooth toasted flavors. Together, these crops grow alongside the brewery to make it a unique brew, to make a truly unique brew. Enjoy. So, nearly all beers are produced using hops and barley sourced from suppliers. Very few actually have dedicated suppliers. Well, macro breweries do, but they're not really looking for taste or terroir there. They're just buying up supply chains. So this is extremely rare to go and have a beer that is, essentially North California terroir, more or less. Just a little bit of info. So organic, 6.7 ABV, and this is about 2 pints right here. Well, actually, no, 24 ounces, a little over 24 ounces. I can't wait to try this. I'm truly stoked. Pour it off with a nice big head. Maybe a little bit too much of a head. 2 fingers worth of head. It's a little bit much there. Beautiful coloration. Nice orange with hints of red. Reddish orange. Orangish red. With a sort of off-white to beige head. Fairly thick, very thick actually. Kind of sudsy head as opposed to foamy, oddly enough, but it has a lot of staying power there. Kind of a subdued smell. Maybe it's a little bit too cold. Oddly enough, what I'm getting is of hops, but it's actually a bit more on the earthy side. There's some grapefruit and some tropical fruit underneath that. And sort of a toasted bread malt backbone. Again, the smell is kind of muted. I'm just checking to see if my nasal cavity is free, and it is, so. Well, the nose is kind of muted and big on flavor. Exceptional. There's a lot going on here. fairly thick mouthfeel. There's a bitter and earthy finish. You're getting a lot of, that alpha hops bitterness, but you're also getting a lot of earthy flavor in that long finish. The mid palate is where the malts show up the most clearly. Almost brown bread, kind of a little bit of touch of molasses going on there. Maybe some chocolate as well. Of course, bittersweet chocolate, being that this is an IPA. Oddly enough, the flavors are kind of muted in the front, but they really explode in that mid into the finish. I have a feeling that some of the finish is also the malts, toastiness from the malts. It's almost like a lighter version of a black IPA finish. Not horrifically, I really don't like that sort of resiny and burnt tasting, burnt coffee taste, but this is actually really nicely balanced, where you get that sort of malt style roasted bitterness going with that alpha hops bitterness. Head is still really muted. Again, even when I'm drinking it, there really isn't much effervescence. There really isn't much going on up there. It's a lot of tongue flavors going on here. There's quite a bit of malt backbone to this, by the way. Like I said, it's very thick on the mouth, but there's also, balancing hop bitterness there. Doesn't come across as treacly at all. Carbonation sort of moderate. You could say that this is what you would call a chewy beer. With the mouthfeel and taste being what it is, very chewy. It's not something I use a lot in reviews, but then I don't really review a lot of chewy beers. Hawaii's climate isn't really meant for it. Luckily, there's just a slight bit of coldness in the air. Relative to Hawaii, that means it's below 78 degrees, but it's not really cold, which is below 70 degrees. So it's probably about 76, 77 right now, which is nice temperature. Just a very nicely balanced beer with this just delightful, sensual feel in the mouth. Where you hit that perfect spot of flavor and mouthfeel. That said, there is, I can't I blew my nose before this thing, if I'm going to do it again right now, just to be sure. Yep. The head on this is just really, really muted. You really have to get in there to get the smell, which is really strange considering how much oomph the flavors have in the mouth. But other than that sort of touch of pine resin, earthy, maybe as it warms a bit of herbal bitterness too. And of course, the sort of toasty malts. It's all very muted. I just kind of find it strange. That said, by no means is it bad tasting. It's like this is I suppose, a beer that more than makes up for its lack in the higher levels with very much a very, very good sort of, what's the word I'm looking, tactile feeling as you drink it. Can't get over the tactile feeling. I mean, I also can't get over the lack of smell. You take the good with the bad. Now, one of the good things about this is Sierra Nevada. You think, an estate-grown ale? Dang, this must be like $15 a bottle. Nope. This was under $7 even here in Hawaii, so it's probably about $5, $6 on the mainland. Well worth the price. And well worth the support of, doing this very interesting sort of experiment. While Northern California is hop growing territory, I can imagine it's probably kind of difficult to get barley to grow right there, considering barley is sort of a flatland kind of grain. This also tends to sell out pretty quickly. Saw it on the shelf, was already halfway gone. So it behooves people to go and get it while it's still available. So that's your beer review for tonight, folks. Kind of went on with it, but like I said, it's been a while since I've had a sort of interesting, unique beer. And that's your beer review for tonight. Cheers.